Herschel Walker is now hinting that he is going to run for the Senate out of the state of Georgia. And I thought this was interesting because I put up a poll question for all of you out there to decide whether or not you think that it makes a lot of sense going forward as it pertains to Herschel Walker running for the Senate. And over 15,000 of you have voted so far. Should Herschel Walker run for Senate against Raphael Warnock in Georgia in 2022? That's next year. 88% of you said yes, he should run for the Senate. I think Herschel Walker would win in a massive margin. Let me explain why. Look at what just happened in Alabama. Now, Alabama and Georgia are very different states. We understand that. But they border each other. And Alabama made the decision to elect Doug Jones to the Senate a couple of years ago. Why did Doug Jones win in the Senate race? Because Alabama had made the decision to nominate Roy Moore, and then there were a lot of negative stories that came out about Roy Moore. And as a result, Doug Jones, a Democrat, won by a small margin in an election race to represent the state of Alabama. Well, then there are all these Republicans who line up to run, and you know who ended up winning? Tommy Tuberville, former Auburn football coach. Now, it's not like Auburn is that popular in the grand scheme of things in the state of Alabama. They are like Ireland to Alabama's England. They are a minority inside of the state. And so Tuberville, not only did he win the Senate election, he won all over the state of Alabama, even including up till the last couple of results, even in Tuscaloosa, where he had beaten Alabama at one point 6 years in a row. Remember Fear the Thumb when Auburn won 6 straight years beating Alabama in football. Tommy Tuberville is now a senator representing the state of Alabama. So, Herschel Walker, I would argue, is probably the most popular person in the state of Georgia overall. I can't even think, maybe you guys can in the comments, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, you can share with me someone who is more popular in the state of Georgia than Herschel Walker. But if he were to win, I think that he would beat Warnock in 2022. And that's because Herschel is the most popular person in the state of Georgia. He's also been a prominent ally of Donald Trump who has encouraged him to run. So I think he would have all of the Trump supporters. I think he would have the vast majority of the Georgia Bulldog fans who still think about Herschel when they won their national championship back, I believe, in 1980, which was 41 years ago now, I guess, that Herschel won the national championship for Georgia. And he remains an iconic figure all over the state of Georgia, one of the most popular athletes in the entire country. In fact, the only athlete I can even think of, this is a fun debate, how many different athletes are more popular in their respective states right now than Herschel Walker in Georgia? Some ideas for you. I would say probably Peyton Manning in Tennessee, maybe Tim Tebow in Florida, possibly still Tom Brady in Massachusetts. Other than those three, I can't think of very many people who would be more popular. Is Vince Young still insanely popular in Texas? Maybe. Can you think of any athletes more popular in their individual states than Herschel, than Peyton Manning, than Tim Tebow, and maybe Tom Brady in Massachusetts? Jeter in New York? I don't know. Maybe. There aren't very many people out there that are anywhere near as popular as Herschel is in his state, which is why I think he would beat Raphael Warnock. I think he would win in the state of Georgia, and that could potentially flip the Senate races and the Senate control back to Republicans, depending on how things go in 2022 otherwise. By the way, that's a fun debate, and I may trot it out on social media and see how many of you can come up with other athletes who are more popular. Certainly, like in Canada, for instance, Wayne Gretzky is probably more popular, but I don't know the provinces of Canada well enough. But inside the United States, I would go probably number one, Peyton Manning in Tennessee. I don't think you can underrate how popular Peyton Manning is in Tennessee. I think probably in the second spot, I might be going with Tebow in Florida because I do think Tebow is still wildly popular in Florida, although he's a little bit controversial because he's more political. Herschel in Georgia, and Peyton Manning, by the way, would also be really popular in Indiana, but I think he's also super popular in Tennessee. And Peyton Manning would be popular, by the way, in Colorado, too. John Elway in Colorado, probably up on the list of popular characters. And Brady in Massachusetts, just because you have to have a long-term connection, I think, to be wildly popular. That's going to be a fun topic. I'm going to toss that up on social media and let you guys weigh in.